I'm going to do a flip through of my recent junk journal. This I made just the other day from some Happy Mail that I got from Fina, the Trinket Gypsy. She sent a big old envelope stuffed full of tons of papers and embellishments and die cuts and stickers and bits and bobs. I mean, just everything you can imagine. And as I started sorting through it to put it away, it kind of started coming together into a journal. And so I went with it. It didn't take long at all. It was just, one afternoon I saw the, need to make the journal, and by that evening it was done. It was meant to be. I used the larger papers from the Happy Mail as the outsides of the signatures, and then put smaller papers inside, just folded in half, and then the smallest, some of the smallest things I used as embellishments on the pages. I'm going to do a quick flip through. There's like 148 pages in here, so the flip through is going to be fast, but I'll show you what I did with the things that she sent. The covers, this is just an old textbook that I had disemboweled a long time ago, and I held on to the covers, and it was just right for this because I needed to space the signatures out a little bit so that I could, because I knew I was going to be adding a lot of embellishments and it was going to get fat, and it did, and will continue to get fat most likely, and that's okay. Anyway, okay, this is just a long stitch, up, down, up, down, up, down. Each signature was sewn in separately, so this is just very basic, simple sewing. Now, for the good part. The pages in here that do not have stuff that Fina sent in the Happy Mail are from other Happy Mail. I have decided that what I'm going to do with this junk journal is to make it a junk art junk journal. Junk not really meaning, like trash. Junk meaning bits and pieces of Happy Mail and some trash, some recycled materials and junk mail and things like that, but turned into junk art in a positive way. You know what I'm saying, right? I think most of us in the junk journal community, we've got the junk journal down. I've seen them done 100 different ways, and all different styles, and from things that you dig out of the trash to scrapbooking scraps. We've done it, been there, done that. I'm not finding anything new in junk journals, and I'm kind of getting a little frustrated with that. But you don't see a whole lot on how to use them other than just the typical journaling or make an art journal. So I decided what I'm going to do is anytime I get some Happy Mail, I'm going to try to use what I get in that Happy Mail to create a piece of collage art, a junk collage art, to put in here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. What I've already done, I talked about this when I got Fina's Happy Mail, because these things were in the Happy Mail package, and they kind of ended up sitting next to each other, and they went together perfectly. So I created this page, and these were just scraps. This was junk scraps that she sent. So I just created this little, almost like a card, like an old school, crafty cardstock card that you would make. And this stamp came off of the package that she sent. She had a bunch of these ballerina stamps on there, and they had kind of started to peel, so I helped them out and just peeled them off so I could reuse them, and it just went perfectly there. So this was just scraps from the huge package of stuff that Fina sent. And then I've added a few of my own scraps from around the house. So, you know, this is like the other Zebaldonis that I've been making, but without paint. I don't see myself painting a lot in this one. I see this as more of a glue book or collage book for little bits and pieces. Things like this, you know, little scraps that you can put together into something instead of just using as a decoration or a collage bit. Turn them into a finished kind of piece. You know, very simple, very basic. Nothing is measured or cut straight. You know, I use scissors. It's kind of wonky, and that's exactly what I want. So that's one that I did. The other one is this one. And you'll see these pieces in the video I did for the Happy Mail from Anna Marie Martins. She sent everything here except for this pink paper. This has shoes on it. That was in Fina's package. And it had shoes, and then there's shoes on these tags, and so I wanted to use them together, so that's what I did. And, you know, just glued it onto one of the junk pages that I already had bound in here. So it's just a little simple, fun, quick, easy collage, junk collage, basically. And you can see these are all, nothing is cut straight. They're all kind of just wonky. I use scissors, you know, not a paper cutter, because I don't want it to have that precision look. I want it to be junky. Plus, who knows? Something else may turn up that I might stick someplace else on top of it. It's meant to be added to. But even the little scraps, you know, the pieces that I cut off of the papers as I cut them to size, I use them in places. You know, I could have put that back into my stash of, you know, scraps to be used later. We all have one of those. We have that box of scraps, right? Okay. They may or may not get used, right? Eventually, mine usually do, but sometimes it takes a while. I could have just tossed it in that bin, or I could just use it right away. And my goal is to use it right away. So any of the little bits that I trim off, I am going to use. Here's some more of those trimmings, and there's some more. And then this, I trimmed off the edge of the big sheet of shoe paper, and I'm sorry, do you hear the motorcycle? It's my neighbor across the street. He just kind of revs it every once in a while, and sometimes it's in his garage, and right now he's out in the street. And it's a Moroccan family, and they're very nice. I've met the wife. I've never met him. But he sometimes wears a Moroccan, what you call it, I don't know what you call it, but it's it looks like a dress, but it's a robe thing. And this is apparently standard garment for Moroccan men, but it's kind of funny because I'm just not used to seeing a man in a dress. So he'll go out in his garage with his dress on and then tinker with his motorcycle. And then occasionally he'll ride it around the block. And he wears socks with sandals. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at him, but okay, he doesn't wear the dress on the motorcycle, but he does wear socks with sandals, which I have heard is kind of a staple if you live like in the Pacific Northwest. But down here, it is just not done. You do not wear socks with sandals. And if you do, you for sure don't get on your motorcycle that way. So, I'm a horrible person. Oh dear. Okay. I don't know what I was talking about. Yes, okay. Back on track. I thought that I would, you know, at some point I would put a nice cover over this, make it all, you know, look good, and do something with these inside covers. But then I decided, no, I'm just going to use my scraps, any little trimmings, and I'm just going to collage them on the inside covers, and then maybe on the outside. You know, who knows? So that is my plan. Now, the flip through, let's just do this quickly. Keep in mind that other than those couple of pages that I showed you, everything in here came from one Happy Mail package from one very generous lady. And it's all very random. Nothing makes sense. And I think that's what drew me to it and what inspired me to put it together, because it was all random and you know, it wasn't things that really went together. So I had to put them together. And you can see the video that I did when I received this Happy Mail. If you watch that, you will see all of these parts and pieces as I received them. And then you can watch this video to see how some of them ended up. Some ended up as embellishments, some as pages, some as pockets. I've got some pockets and some I forget what you call it, little thing, tuck spot. That's it, tuck spot. There were a whole bunch of these pieces of stock, pattern stock in the Happy Mail, and they were all about the same size. So they just had to be tabs. I folded them in half and made them tabs. And then there were some extras. I did top tabs and side tabs. We were just fully tabbed. There were some, she sent some sheets of notepad paper, and some of them I have put into different envelopes and pockets so that I can pull them out and use them. This is just making me so happy. See, these are different note papers. Love those. I'm just really, really excited about working in this. You know, it's going to be something that's kind of like a smash book where, you know, you can put your daily junk in there. But then again, I can make, you know, nicer pieces of scrap art, junk art. What did I call it? I called it something a few minutes ago, and I really liked that phrase, and now I've forgotten what it was. Whatever it is. I hate saying junk because, you know, we associate junk with something that's trash. It's no good. But that's not the case in this kind of junk. So that's why I hesitate to call it junk, because it's not the kind of junk that you normally associate with junk. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know. You know. But it really was a lot of fun going through here. That was supposed to have been bound into one of the signatures, and for some reason my needle completely missed it. So I just folded it out and tucked it in there. Oopsie. And you can see I used fancy plain masking tape for my fold-outs. This, I think, I was hesitant to use that because I didn't know what it meant, and then I saw this sticker, and it looks like it's a brand for cymbals. You know, like cymbals you use in music or something. Or, I don't know, but that made me feel more comfortable using it so that I knew that it wasn't, you know, something that I shouldn't be using, because I don't know what it says. This is a pocket. This is my favorite kind of junk journal. I can collage with these later if I want to, but you know, for now, stuck them there. It's kind of just random stuff for no reason. I am not much into the what I call scrap journals, which I see a lot of that other people call junk journals, and that's fine. You know, it doesn't matter, whatever, call it what you want. But they're more scrapbook scrapbooking pieces and papers that kind of all match and go together, you know, like a stack of coffee dyed papers, and they're beautiful. They're way more, what am I trying to say? They're way less junky. So to me, that's a scrap journal, not so much a junk journal. Junk journal has things like this. You know, it's not planned. It doesn't have a theme. It's just a little bit of everything. That's just my personal idea of a junk journal. You call it what you want. You do what you want. I'm just telling you where I'm coming from. Now, these little pieces like this, you know, I talked about making just little decorative pieces to put in here. This is going to be the purpose of this journal. Out of the Happy Mail and things that I get, or the junk mail I get every day. Let's just see if we can get that to come together.